Theme pages are kind of a funny thing when you think about it. They don't actually create any content on their own. They take it from other creators and post them to their page, and it kind of makes you wonder, why are they allowed to do that? But the whole idea behind them is they actually help the creator grow, so it's kind of like a win-win.
Or is it?
And so if you think about it in theory, it makes a lot of sense. These theme pages have 100,000 to a couple million followers, depending on how big they are. And if they're sharing content from a small creator, then the creator's content gets pushed out to all these different people, right? And again, on paper, in theory, this makes a lot of sense, but in practice, it's just not really as good as it sounds.
Or at least not anymore now that it's shifted from a picture to videos. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about theme pages on Instagram and other platforms and why we don't allow them to use our content anymore.
Now, for those who don't know, these are pages who solely use other creators' content and post it on their page. We've got a few names: share pages, share accounts, theme pages, and they've been around since the dawn ages of Instagram. You might even follow a couple of them right now. There's tons of theme pages out there, and they're so normalized by now that most people wouldn't really think twice about them, but we actually no longer allow them to use most of our content. There's a number of reasons for this, which we'll get into, and we'll also let you know at the end how we go about talking to these theme pages so they can remove our content. So stick around for that.
So we just want to say that we don't think these share pages are bad people or like trash them or anything, but we just want to share our stance because things are changing on Instagram. All right, so let's talk about that. So everyone knows that Instagram shifted from a photo platform to a video platform. And with that just came a lot more of a shift in effort levels, I guess. And that's also where our shift in stance also originated. So we also just want to say that probably like a year ago when Instagram was just a photo sharing app, we actually used to tag share pages on our photos hoping that they would reshare them. We thought with them resharing it would gain brand exposure and kind of just get our name out there a little more. And it did help, but a lot less than you would think.
To put it in perspective, we've had pages with over 1 million followers a couple times share our content, and each time I think the most followers we get is like 50, which was like so underwhelming. I remember when we saw that we were shared on a big page, we were like, oh, this is sick, and then like nothing came of it.
Yeah. And like sometimes if they're in even a 300,000 or 400,000 range, we might only get like 2. So it really is not a lot, honestly.
And it does vary, but the reason behind this is basically just the way people use Instagram, we think, and also how these theme pages tag the creator.
All right, so now that Instagram is mainly like, I guess, Reels, the way that people watch Reels is really just kind of like one after the other. We think now that there's such a small caption that people don't really go to see who made the content anymore. Even if we are reshared on a really big platform, you still have to go to the caption, press show more, scroll all the way down to the bottom and find who actually created the video. And the reality is people just don't do that.
Especially because some of these pages really try to like hide your name in the description. It's so spammy the way they do it. Like they'll make a description and they'll be like follow, 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 and like tag themselves like 5 times. And then at the bottom after some caption, then they'll actually put like who made the video. Basically, they just don't make it very easy to find the creator.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes they'll actually just reshare my caption or our caption to kind of make it seem like it's their video and they're like almost impersonating us, which, you know, never feels good.
Also, full disclosure, not all theme pages do this. Some of them do credit the creator right at the top, which we definitely appreciate. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't get us that much traction coming to our page. So in summary, it mainly benefits the theme page. It does benefit the creator a little bit, but not as much as we used to think it does. And some of you might be wondering, why are you guys complaining? Boo-hoo, like your stuff gets shared, still get a little traction from it. Why don't you just shut up and be happy with it? Fair. But we just want to share a little story with you.
So back in 2021, we built our boho chic build, and this was a difficult build for us because it actually had 2 sliding doors in the back. So it was kind of just unexpectedly a lot more difficult than our previous camper vans. And because of this, it just took extra long. And also during the build, we decided to create a stop motion video showing how the whole van was being built.
At the time, there were a lot of creators doing this sort of thing, and we were really inspired by some of the impressive stop motions out there, like Deanna Dunn's. So we really wanted to try one, and yeah, like Jenny said, it was a ton of work.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what stop motion is, it's basically when you take a series of photos, play them together really fast so it looks like a video. Specifically, what you're doing is you're taking an object in your screen and you have it in place, take a photo, move it 1 inch, take another photo, move it another inch, take a photo, and in between all these photos, you have to make sure whoever's moving the object runs out of frame. So it's just a lot of like moving back and forth and like moving objects ever so slightly, all while still trying to make a camper van. Turned out to be way harder than we expected.
So we'd end up doing steps and then we'd kind of like take it out so that we could refilm it. So just really trying to put this into perspective, this video was a big project on its own.
And we're never gonna do one again.
So this is the first video that I felt I had put too much effort into creating. So I purposely did not tag any share pages in this video. And I guess that was kind of like the first time where I valued my content more than letting other people share it. So people did end up sharing it, although I didn't really like that it was going around. I didn't really say anything or make a change until this one share page asked us for money.
Yeah, so this page approached us and asked if we wanted to be featured on their page. It was a page for campervans that are for sale. So it was sort of like, I'll post an ad for your van that's for sale, because we had just completed our most recent build.
And when we went to go check out their page, we saw that our stop motion video was pinned at the top of their page. So our stop motion video on their page had almost 1 million views, and the same video on our page had only gotten like 27,000 views. I didn't say anything for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I was extremely angry that this person had my video that I'd spent months creating pinned on their page, and they had the audacity to ask us for money for another one of our vans to be featured at the top of their page. I didn't want to respond angrily, so I didn't say anything, and I just kind of sat on it for a few weeks while I thought about why did this make me so angry. So after taking a couple weeks to kind of think about why this bothered me so much, I came to realize that since now that we're almost exclusively posting videos, each video that we post does take me probably 4 to 5 hours to create. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it is true. It does take me a really long time to cut the video, make voiceovers, text, all this different stuff. And to have people just resharing it like it's nothing, I think just kind of ended there for me. I kind of realized that I value my content a lot more now than I did a year ago, especially when it was kind of photos versus videos now.
And again, I can imagine a bunch of people watching this right now are like,
what's the big deal? Like, a big page shared your video, it got you a little bit more exposure.
maybe they got more exposure and benefit from it than we did, but at the end of the day, like, it still got pushed out. But we actually think that it actually hurt our video's performance. You see, the thing with these theme pages is they're theme pages. They stick to one niche, right? So the niche that we're in is van life and camper vans and stuff like that. And it's the same for the theme pages that share our content. When they take a video that we've made and put it out there same day or maybe a couple days after ours, and it starts getting traction, like 1 million views, then people in that exact same niche who would be interested in our video are going to see it on their platform first. We're getting a bunch of views, our video's getting appreciated, but it's getting credited to someone else, and then if it comes up on their feed again from our page, no one's going to watch it because they're like, oh, I've already seen this.
Yeah, so then people aren't watching the video, and it tells the algorithm that it's not interesting, and it kind of just stops the video. So after having some time to think, this was the first time where I really felt the need, like I needed to have my piece. So I did message the account and I let them know, like, hey, this really upset me and this is why. I had a message responded from their assistant saying that the account manager, whoever runs it, would get back to me, and they never did, which honestly is fine because it felt good just letting them know what they're doing and like why it was upsetting. It also was the first kind of change for us to stop letting other people use our content. So from then on, whenever people would share our stuff, we would just message them, kind of explaining our stance and like why we no longer share, trying to kind of educate people. Sometimes that's taken well and received well, and sometimes it's not. That's fine as long as it's not being stolen from us.
Yeah, most of the time people will respond, be like, yep, no problem, they'll take it down right away. There was one time in particular, some dude was kind of bitter. He's like,
Okay, whatever, like, it benefits you, but like, I'll take it down.
it just goes to show that the sentiment is still, this is benefiting creators. And again, to some extent it kind of is, but it's just not really worth it in our eyes anymore.
It's kind of like when people ask, like photographers, I feel like get this a lot. Hey, do you want to come shoot this thing for me? And I'll post the pictures on my Instagram. You'll get free exposure.
Yeah, like instead of paying the photographer, you offer like free exposure, and it's not really valuing people properly. So that's our little rant. I don't want to come across as bitter about this whole thing. We know it's sort of part of the Instagram landscape and it's just sort of how it is, but I haven't really seen people talking about this, and it's something that we've thought about a lot lately. So we just thought we'd put something out there and see if people feel the same, or if you guys completely disagree and think we should shut up, definitely let us know. I'm not really too attached to this at all, but we just thought it might be an interesting topic. Something else to note is we're not really going out of our way to tell people to take our photos down. We don't really care about photos because we barely post them anymore.
And nobody else really posts photos anymore either, so.
Yeah, no one's sharing photos either, so photos don't matter.
So if you are mainly a viewer on Instagram and you're kind of wondering, so what can I do? Just when you're scrolling the feed and you see a share page, share something that you like, just take the time to go to the creator and just give them a follow.
All right, I think that's all we got for today. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. And if you're interested in checking out our social media, that's linked in the description as well.
If you're interested in seeing how much YouTube paid us in the first month of being monetized, go check out the video on screen now.
We're really interested to hear what you guys think about this topic. So if you have anything to say at all, definitely leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you.
All right, we'll see you in the next one.